Well, hey, Timberline Church, Pastor Tim Heist here. I am in my little home office. I think you can see my pup behind me here. This is Eliza the Dane. She loves to just look out the window and rest her head back there. Anyways, want to say hello to you all and share a passage. Every week, Timberline High School is going to be doing a little video online similar to Timberline Church on the weekend. And the verse we're looking at this week is Hebrews 10. So I thought I'd share it all with you today. Hebrews 10, 22 through 25. The writer of this time, he's writing to Christians that were Jews that are facing persecution in a difficult time. And essentially he's saying, hey, in the hard times, do not go back. Do not go back to what you were, but stay grounded, hold tight to who Jesus is and that hope, because now you can fully engage, fully connect with who God is, because Jesus is the high priest. If you think of the Old Testament, the Israelites couldn't fully connect or engage with God. They did so through offerings, through sacrifices, through the tabernacle, through a priest that would do those offerings and connect them to God for them. And now Jesus enters the scene. The writer is saying, hey, you can fully connect to God. You have full access to him. In our time, right now, with the virus going around, this passage, we're not facing persecution. I know that. But this passage has the four things that remind me of kind of my posture, or maybe things I could be doing during this difficult season. Let me read the verse. Hebrews 10, 22 through 25. Let us draw near to God with a sincere heart and with full assurance that faith brings, having our hearts sprinkled to cleanse us from a guilty conscience and having bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. And all the more as you see the day approaching. So four things in here I think we can see. One is this: let us hold unswervingly to the hope that we profess. This word is literally like a tight grip to the Christian faith. Keep it, hold it tight from slipping away during this season. Go to Jesus, remember the hope that we have in him, and hold on tight. It might be easier to go back, but hold tight. For us, it might be easier to let our minds slip, to go to anxiety, to go to all the what ifs, the fear of what this thing could bring. But instead, perhaps we need to say, what if we hold tight, unswervingly, grip on tight to the hope, that peace that Jesus can bring. Number two, I think he's saying this: spur one another on to love and good deeds. Spur one another on. If you've ever been on a horse, you know that spurs are not gentle, right? They're hard. You slam it in there and the horse takes off. In the same way, I think he's saying literally like, hey, get serious. Hi, pup. Get serious. This is my dog, Eliza. She's a sweet girl. The writer is saying, be serious, go hard, spur, get in there, each one of us to love and good deeds. What would it look like today if we remind each other of ways we can love and care for our community during this virus season? Number three, he says, don't stop meeting together. In that time, the strength of them were literally connecting, many daily, some weekly, that they would keep getting together and seeking God together. It's different for us this week, right now. I get it. We can't meet together in groups of more than 10. But what I think we can do is stay connected. Maybe it's a text to someone, a FaceTime to somebody. Maybe it's just joining that weekly Timberline Church video on the weekends to say, hey, we're still going to meet. We might not be able to gather together, but we will stay connected and pursue Jesus together and be strengthened in that. I hope you've been able to connect with those. If you haven't, be sure to check out the website, timberlinechurch.org, and catch this week's service, this week's gathering, meeting together online. Finally, the writer says, hey, encourage one another. Be reminded there is hope in Jesus, and encourage one another. Yesterday, I was able to call one of our sweeter older ladies of Timberline. She's 86 years old, stuck in her home right now for many, many reasons, and was able to call her and just say, hey, thinking of you, praying for you, remembering you, what's going on in your world. She shared about her life, her family, her cat, all kinds of things. We were able to just pause, listen, be together on the phone, and I said a prayer with her. I know it might be weird to pray over the phone or video, but it goes a massive, massive distance to say, hey, remembering you, let's pray together and invite God into this and encourage one another. It was a 3-minute phone conversation. And for me, one of the most encouraging things I did all last week. So I want to encourage you to literally encourage one another. As I close, take a second, read that passage, stay connected, be reminded that Jesus brings peace and hope and strength. Hold tight to that and be encouraged this week. Hope to see you all digitally or in person here as soon as we can. See ya.